All right, good morning and welcome to this active flow and breathwork. My name is Brian and I'm delighted to be here with you today for this exploration of movement and breath with a mindful mind in a mindful manner. So, a couple of quick things before we start. As always, a reminder that our first guiding principle is support precedes action. So, ensure that you have whatever support you need for your practice today: blocks, straps, bolsters, blankets, eye shades, chair, tissues, clear your passageways. We're going to breathe here to start and probably at the end also. Whatever you need. And then avail yourself of those supports as we go through the practice. Secondarily, remember that it is your practice. So while I will offer and suggest and invite some things from over here, they are just that, offers and suggestions and invitations. Ultimately, you are in the privacy of your own space by design, and you are to listen to the wisdom of your own body and do what is right for you. The only requirement for you is to be present and to breathe. Everything else is an option. So that being the case, remember to use your supports and then to use your options. So come out of any posture at any time, take any alternate posture at any time. Anytime you need to stop, just stop. That's okay. Find yourself, reconnect with your breath and be in your practice. There's nowhere to go, nowhere to be, nothing nobody wins here. So just be in your own space and do what you need to do, listening to your body. Our goal is to be calm, steady, focused on the breath and moving within our own body. So your practice will look and sound and feel different than mine and everyone else's, and that's how it should be. Now, we don't do anything exotic here, nothing really special. So we're just going to do an exploration of some breath and some movement. So let us begin by landing and grounding, raising gratitude and setting our intention. And we do that by finding a supported posture. Whatever that looks like for you, whatever that means for you, whatever shape that takes for you, take a moment to bring yourself into that. Come into this place, come into this space. Feel into the supports of your posture by finding that part of your body that is in contact with something. Feel the physical sensation of that connection at that part of your body. And then imagine that you could root or extend roots from those parts of your body down into the earth beneath you, holding you, securing you, raising nutrients from that earth into you. And then from that rooting down, I invite you to lengthen through your side body, lengthen through your spine, lengthen through your crown. Experiment with tucking your chin and shaking your head to feel the release at the back of the neck, and then find that full length of the spine from the base to the crown. And I encourage you to feel into the sensation in your torso as you elongate and align the spine. Perhaps you notice the energy body engage and come online. Maybe you feel the chest expand and the heart open, maybe not. Just notice what you feel in your own body. And then come into your body by coming into the breath. Turn your awareness to your breathing. Find your inhale as it appears underneath your nasal passages. Begin to follow your inhalation with your awareness into your body, wherever it may go. And follow your exhalation out of your body, emptying completely, holding your awareness on the breath. Be right there at the next inhale. Follow that inhale in and that exhale out. And then continue to breathe here in this supported, elongated posture, allowing your awareness of your breath to occupy the main stage of your mind, and feel perhaps everything else slip away. Everything that's happened in your day, in your week, in your month, let that go. Just let it slip away and fall down. Tell it you'll pick it up in an hour when we're done. Just be present with your breath for a moment. Bring your attention inward, in towards your heart space. And on your next inhale, I invite you to float your hands to your heart in a way that brings awareness to your heart space, and to allow to arise in your heart space any one thing for which you are grateful, a sense of gratitude. Perhaps for you today, maybe it's just the possibility of gratitude. And Whatever arises for you when gratitude is called forth, I invite you to see that clearly in your mind's eye. And I encourage you to anchor your gratitude in your heart space and hold it there, at least for the duration of our practice. And finally, this morning, if you choose, I'll invite you to set an intention for your practice. Perhaps a simple intention to just be right there with each inhale, or to just hold your gratitude in your heart space. And whatever your intention is, I invite you now to state it to yourself. Hear yourself in your mind's ear as you state your intention in a clear and declarative voice, as if it is already done. And then listening for the echoes of your intention as they reverberate in your being, I invite you to take a full inhale. And as you exhale, if you choose, allow your chin to drop to your grateful and intentional heart and offer a benediction to seal your intention as I say, Namo, Namaste. And then release the hands, lift the chin, switch the cross of your legs, or find maybe you need to move and adjust a little bit to feel into a better supported posture. We're going to be here for a couple minutes as we do some breath work, and then take a full inhale and a complete exhale, and establish yourself in whatever supported posture you need for this breathing exercise. We're going to do a couple of different breaths here. We're going to start with an alternate nostril breath, just to bring ourselves present and balanced. Then we're going to move a little bit into a seated cat posture with some arm movement, invigorating the breath, activating a little bit. So in our alternate nostril breath, you have the option of bringing mental awareness to whichever nostril is engaged at the moment, or if you have a hand mudra and you wish to use your hand mudra, you can do that also. And you're going to move at your pace. We're going to do a simple one to begin. We're just going to breathe in through the left nostril and out through the right nostril. And we'll do that for a minute, and then we'll switch, and we'll breathe in through the right nostril and out through the left. And we'll do that for a minute, and then we'll switch, and we'll put those two together, and we'll do a full combination. So in through the left, out through the right to begin. Now, again, your body is still, the awareness is on the breath in the nostril. The focus is at the brow point if the eyes are closed, or just at beyond the tip of the nose if the eyes are narrowed. And we're following the breath. So let us begin by taking a cleansing breath, full inhalation. Complete exhale. And then using your mental awareness or your mudra, begin to inhale left. And exhale right. And then begin to find your rhythm and your pace. Inhaling left. Exhaling right. Long, deep inhalation, complete exhale. At whatever pace is appropriate for you, your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Take a full inhale. A complete exhale. And then we're going to switch. Inhale right, exhale through the left. Begin. Inhaling right. Exhaling left. And again, settle in, focus, awareness on the breath, and find your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Inhaling right, exhaling left. Take a full inhale, a complete exhale. And now we're going to put that together. So we're going to inhale through the left, exhale through the right, inhale through the right, exhale through the left. Inhale and exhale equal in length and duration and intensity and volume. Body very still. Awareness on the breath in the nostril. Focus at the brow point. Or at the tip of the nose. Alternate nostril breathing, balancing breath. Bringing ourselves here. Feeling into stillness, possibly. Balancing the energy channels on the left and right side of the body, balancing the hemispheres of the brain on the right and left side of the body, equalizing the energies of the sun and the moon. Twenty more seconds here. Just stay with it. One more round wherever you are. So that when you next find yourself exhaling through your left nostril, release the pattern. Be still. Turn your attention within and notice your experience, what has shifted for you. 4 minutes of breath practice can change a lot of things. We use these tools to regulate our mind states, to increase our window of tolerance, to be more present with our ability to respond rather than to react. We do this in the comfort and privacy of our own space, so that when we leave our mat and our privacy of our own space, we have the awareness of these tools to take with us. Let us begin now. Excuse me. Our next breath is going to be an activating breath with a seated cat. So on the inhalation, the heart will come forward, the lower spine will arch a little bit, the crown will lift. And the hands are going to be in a simple movement. They'll just slide. We're going to inhale in 2 parts. Inhaling through the nostrils, and the hands will come up the thighs, halfway on the first sniff, the rest of the way on the second sniff. So look and feel like this. And then the exhale will be the reverse, with the breath out through the pursed lips and a rounded O of the mouth. Now it's going to get tricky here, because then our next inhale will be through the mouth in 2 parts. And then out through the nose on the exhale in 2 parts. So we're just alternating each time. So let's try this before we get started. So let's come into our seated posture, hands on the knees. Inhale through the nostrils in 2 parts while bringing the hands toward the hips. Exhale through the mouth in 2 parts while returning the hands to the knees. Inhale through the mouth in 2 parts. Bringing the hands to the hips. Exhale through the nose in two parts. Bringing the hands to the knees and continue at that, your rhythm. In through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the mouth, out through the nose, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the mouth, out through the nose. Now, while you're doing this, you're arching and rounding. So on the exhale, you're rounding the spine, releasing. So it's a very subtle movement in the lower back. Maybe you're not feeling any real shifting at all. Just be in yourself here. Your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Don't overthink it. No analyzing, no conversation or competition. Just be moving with your breath, calm, steady. Focused on the breath. Moving within our own body. 20 more seconds here. One more round. As you exhale, empty completely, take a full inhalation. Gently retain this breath while lifting at the base of the spine, the pelvic bowl, at the heart, relaxing the shoulders, tucking the chin, bringing everything to the center of your being. Check in with your gratitude and your intention. Be in your heart space. Be still. Notice. Very still. As you're ready, you need to release your legs. Exhale. Take a cleansing breath, full inhalation. A complete exhale. Allow your breath to return to normal. Be very still. Just notice what shifted for you. 2 minutes of seated cat. Notice where you have energy, where you have sensation, where that might be different than before you started that particular practice. Just be with yourself for a moment here. Take a breath. Sigh it out. And then let's come around to our mat. We're going to start standing today. Woo. All right. Okay. And just take a moment to shake everything out. If you're like me, a little bit of seated work, a little bit of movement, just kind of gets the blood flowing again. Everything tends to settle in, particularly in the hips when you're seated cross-legged, our Siddhasana or Sukhasana. And so, all right, we find ourselves standing here. All right, we're going to bring the heels together. The toes are going to point out at an angle. All right. Then we're going to hinge forward into a modified forward fold and bring our hands underneath and slightly in front of our shoulders. And we're going to place a little bit of pressure into the fingertips to support ourselves here. Remember, support precedes action. We're going to release the forehead toward the shins. We're going to lift the hips. We're going to come into a modified forward fold here. Now, we're going to begin to do our modified squats or frog poses here. Now, it is important that you not overdo anything. You're supporting yourself with your hands here. So this is the inhale posture. Legs might be straightened, forehead toward the shins. The exhale, we bend the knees, bring the hips toward the heel, lift the crown toward the ceiling. This is our squat. On the exhale, on the inhale, we straighten the legs, release the head, forehead toward the chins, and lift the hips toward the ceiling. And then we begin to move with your rhythm, your pace, your breath, and your practice. So exhale, drop the hips to the heels, lift the crown. Inhale, lift the hips to the ceiling, release the crown. And continue at your rhythm, your pace, your breath. Find this place. Now, your squat may not go, your hips may not go to your heels. You may just be doing a little up here at the top of your hips. That's fine. Everyone's going to be different. Your body, your practice. Breathing into this. We're going to be here for literally 1 minute. So find your rhythm. Move with your breath. Remember, we're calm, steady, focused on the breath, and moving within our own body. 30 seconds. You may be feeling this now, waking up a little bit. Inhale up. Bring your toes towards each other. Take your middle and index finger, wrap them around your big toe. Take your thumb on the outside of the big toe. Release your forehead toward the shin. Take a full inhale. And a complete exhale. Inhale here. Lift the crown of the head parallel toward the mat. Breathe. Exhale. Release the head. Full inhalation here. Complete exhale. Release the toes. Bend the knees slightly. Feel the weight. Sink into the heels and then slowly roll yourself up. 1 vertebra at a time. The head and neck will come up last. The shoulders will roll. The palms will turn forward. The fingers will extend toward the mat. Whoo! Those will get your attention. And we're here just standing. Allow everything to settle. Full inhale. Complete exhale. Take your legs out wider than the shoulders. Turn the toes slightly out. Press into the outside of the feet. I'm sorry, turn the toes slightly in. I think I said turn the toes out. We're going to turn the toes slightly in. See if we can parallel the outside edges of the feet with the top and bottom of our mat. And then press into the outer part of the foot. Feel the length. Bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, get long through the crown. Exhale, just hinge forward, pressing the hips back toward the wall behind you. Bring your body torso parallel to the mat. Find your length here. Inhale here. Exhale, release the hands underneath the face. Release the forehead toward the wall behind you. Bring the crown to the mat. Wide-legged forward fold. Now make some adjustments as you need to in your feet to find your bit. All right. Take an inhale here, lift the crown. On the exhale, turn the hands so that the fingers point to the wall behind you, and then walk your hands back underneath your legs, maybe finding a little more depth here into your forward fold. Breathe here, full inhale. Complete exhale. Inhale here. Exhale here. A full inhalation. A complete exhale. On your next inhale, turn your fingertips forward, bring your hands underneath the face. Inhale, get long through the crown. Exhale, walk your hands over toward your right foot, bringing your forehead toward your right knee. Feel that stretch in the side body opening up. Maybe your hands go outside the foot, maybe not. Breathe here. Breathe out. Inhale here. Exhale here. A full inhalation. A complete exhale. On your inhale, walk your hands back underneath your face. Get long through the crown. On the exhale, walk the hands over toward the left foot, bringing the forehead toward the left knee. Again, find your length. Notice maybe different on one side than the other. That's absolutely okay. Feel that opening. Breathe in here. Breathe out. A full inhale. A complete exhale. Inhale here. Exhale here. On your inhale, walk your hands back underneath your face. Get long through the crown. And then bring the hands, actually, let's do it this way. Let's keep the hands down so we're supported in this posture. Okay, the first thing we're going to do, on this time, we're going to walk the hands over toward the right foot, but we're going to bend the right knee. So we're bending into that right knee. Just support yourself with your hands. We're not overdoing anything here. Just feel into that different little stretch here. If you like, you can, if you're balanced, you can bring your hands to prayer or even take a bind if that's in your practice. Breathing here. Another breath here. And then inhale, walk your hands back to center, get long through the crown, straighten the right leg. And then as you exhale, bend into the left knee, walk your hands over toward that left knee. And again, find your hand posture here in this stretch, breathing. Full inhale here. Complete exhale here. On your next inhale, walk your hands back to center, straighten the leg, lift the crown. And then as you exhale, just heel toe your feet back toward each other, bringing them underneath the hips, coming into your forward fold. Release the forehead, breathe in, and breathe out. Bring your hands to your hips on your inhale, flat back. And then exhale, come back upright, release the hands. Woo! Roll the shoulders, take a breath. Check in with your gratitude and your intention. We got one more here. So we're going to come down in the middle of our mat on the knees and extend the right leg. Now, take the arms high. On the exhale, let the right arm drop alongside that right leg. And then let the left arm come across the body, leaning over. The torso comes over towards that right leg. Breathing into this. Have circle pose. Breathe in. The right leg is long but not locked. And we're just finding our opening here. Breathing in. And breathing out. Inhale here. Exhale here. A full inhalation. A complete exhale. On the inhale, bring the arms back up, the torso back up, and then on the exhale, let the left hand drop over alongside. Great place for a block if your hand doesn't reach the back, and allow the torso to lean over to the left. Extending the right arm across the top, bicep framing the ear. So we're counter stretch here, breathing in, breathing out. Inhaling here. Exhaling here. A full inhale. A complete exhale. On the inhale, come back straight up. Release the hands. Walk the right foot in and bring the right knee back underneath the body. Establish your posture here. Take a breath. And then we're going to move to the other side. Extend the left leg out towards that end of the mat. Your arms will go high on the inhale. On the exhale, the left hand will drop towards the left thigh. The torso will lean over to the left. Right arm extended over the head, bicep framing the ear, and we're breathing here. Full inhale. Complete exhale. Inhale here. Exhale here. Breathe in. Breathe out. On your inhale, bring your torso back center. Arms go high. On the exhale, the right hand will come over to a block or to the mat, and we'll lean to the right, extending the left arm over the head, bicep framing the ear as we breathe in and breathe out. Inhale here. Exhale here. A full inhale. A complete exhale. Inhale, we come back to center. Release the hands to the hip. Bring the left knee underneath. Release the arms. Now, take your hands to your hips. So your fingers are down as if they're extended into pockets at the back of your. We're teasing the hips forward slightly. And we're lengthening through the crown as we inhale. Lift out of the waist. Lift out of the thighs, out of the waist, out of the chest. Keep the chin and sternum in alignment as you lengthen through the crown. Maybe a slight back bend here. And if you have and would like to, you can release your hands back toward your heels. Breathing here into our little camel. Half camel, maybe do one hand back. Breathing. Or maybe the other, switching the other hand back. Maybe your fingers are only generally in the same zip code as your heels. It's okay, you're breathing. Maybe your both hands release back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Wherever you are, bring your hands back to the hips. On your inhale, straighten the torso. On the exhale, go ahead and turn your body so that you're on the long way on your mat, and then press your hips back toward your heels. And then go ahead and continue to press back through the spine, rounding the spine, releasing the chin toward the chest. Just feel that little counter posture there. And then just roll off of your hips and come down onto your back. And we'll do a little work in the core here. So let's start by stretching. Take the arms overhead, hook the thumbs either direction, it doesn't matter. Inhale as you get long through the fingers and press through the heels. Just feel that length. Exhale, toes come back to neutral. Switch the interlock of the thumb. As you inhale, get long through the fingers. Press the toes away from the face. Get long. Exhale, release the toes to neutral, bring the hands down by the side, palms down by the hips, forearms pressing. Now, if you need or want more support, bring your thumbs underneath your sits bones. If you want even more support than that, bring the back of your palms underneath your SI joint, top of your buttocks. And then pick up your feet about 6 inches off the mat. And then we're going to begin to piston the legs. Now, the higher you take the feet off the mat, the more support you get from your spine. So maybe your feet are all the way toward the ceiling and we're pistoning this way. Or maybe you take your feet to where the wall and the ceiling come together. Or maybe you take your feet where they're halfway up that wall. Or maybe you take your feet just 6 inches off the mat. The lower your feet, the less support you get from your spine, the more you're engaging through the hip flexors, the hamstrings, the glutes, the quads, the abdomen, the abdominal muscles, and you're moving with your breath in and out here. Just moving calm, steady, focused on the breath, and moving within our own bodies here. Couple more. Inhale, both legs long. And gently release the heels, let the toes fall up and turn the palms up and release. Full inhale. Down into the belly. Complete exhale, sigh it out. Let everything settle. Notice. Maybe I got your attention a little bit, maybe not. Maybe you feel a little energized in the hip girdle and a little heat in the core. Breathing here. See how we're doing. Okay, we got, let's do a couple more here. So let us bring the heels toward the ceiling. Flex the toes back toward the face. Again, more support with the hands underneath the sits bones or the SI joint if you like. And we're going to do our scissor kicks here. So lowering the one leg on the exhale. On the inhale, that leg comes high. On the exhale, the opposite leg goes down. And we work with our breath. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Now, if you find that you would like a little bit more integrated challenge, you can do both legs at once. But whether you're doing scissor kick or both legs, you're moving with your breath. You're focused, calm and steady, feeling into the mindfulness of the movement, feeling engaged. It'll work here. I know I'm feeling this. Some of you know I've been injured and I'm healing from an injury and I haven't been doing as much daily activity as a result. And I'm certainly feeling this now. Couple more here. Inhale up, flex the toes, get long. And exhale, bring the knees in toward the chest, reach up and squeeze the knees in. Maybe a little rock side to side, releasing any tension. And then drop the heels and soles of the feet to the mat. So the heels are near the hips. The knees are toward each other, maybe touching. Palms down by the sides. We're going to begin to roll up into our bridge. So let's begin by just tilting the pelvic bowl. So just tilt the pelvic bowl. You may feel it's a very subtle little movement as if you're rocking on your lower spine. You'll feel the lower part of your hip girdle. The bottom part of your buttocks may be even lifting off the mat. And then we're just going to continue to press into the feet. And as we press into the feet, we may feel the buttocks begin to lift. We may feel the lower back begin to lift. We may feel the middle back begin to lift. We may even feel the upper back begin to lift. The belly button rises toward the ceiling. The knees move away from the face. Now continue to keep the knees in parallel. Excuse me. So rotate the thighs inward. Tendency of the knees to flop open here. And so now we're into our bridge posture here. Now we're going to make this a dynamic movement. So as you inhale, lift a little higher, roll a little higher. No weight in the head or neck. Everything's in the upper shoulders. As you exhale, just roll back down one vertebrae at a time until you're just about hovering. And then on your inhale, you roll back up. And then find your rhythm and your pace and your breath and your practice. And we're just going to be here for like a minute, moving with our breath. Simple movement, aligned with the breath. Notice what happens in your system, your central nervous system, as you align movement and breath. Notice the tendency to come into coherence, to be as one, settled in, and find your flow. Inhale up. And exhale, roll back down. Bring the knees into the chest. Squeeze and release. Ooh, maybe a little tension in that lower spine and the sciatic area. Maybe not. Just feel into that. All right, from here, we're going to move into our twist. So bring the heels and soles back to the mat. Take the right leg, extend it long, and then lift the right heel toward the ceiling. Reach up and grab behind the right leg somewhere and just pull that right knee toward the face, creating a little space in the hip girdle. And then as you exhale, release the leg and cross that right leg tightly atop the left. So the back of the right thigh, the right hamstring is pressed tightly into the top of the left thigh, the left quad. Your foot is outside. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, let both knees gently fall over to the left as you look over your right shoulder. Now, that right shoulder needs to stay down on the mat and relax. So if you've overdone it, you'll feel that right shoulder begin to come up. Just relax off of that, back out. Think about moving the knees away from the face and letting the weight of the legs do the work here. There's nowhere we need to be, nowhere you need to go. Just feeling into that opening twist and breathing in behind the right hip. Full inhale. Complete exhale. Inhale here. Exhale here. Full inhalation. Complete exhale. On your inhale, bring the knees and head back to neutral. Take the right leg high, press through the heel, flex the toes, and then release the right leg long. And then bring the right knee back in, the heels toward the hips, and extend the left leg long. Lift the left leg, press the heel, flex the toes, reach up and grab behind the left leg, bring that left knee toward the face, creating space, and then as you exhale, release the left knee, cross the left thigh tightly atop the right, dropping the left foot outside the right. All right, we're going to inhale here and get long. On the exhale, we're going to let both knees fall over to the right as we gently look over the left shoulder, keeping the left shoulder down on the mat and relaxed. Moving the knees away from the face, letting gravity do the work, breathing here, finding this gentle twist to the across the front of the body, breathing in behind the left hip with an inhale. And an exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. A full inhalation. And a complete exhale. On your inhale, bring the knees back to neutral, the head back to neutral. Take the left leg high, flex the toes, and then release the left leg. Release the right leg to join it. Let the toes fall open. Take the heels as wide as is comfortable for you on your mat. Bring your palms down on the back of the mat. Palms up. Bring your palms up by your hips. Lengthen through the crown, pull down on the side body. Feel the full back side of your body supported here. And then take a moment here as we fall into our guided rest to provide yourself with any additional support that you may want in this posture. So maybe you have an eye cloth, maybe you have a blanket or a shawl, maybe you have a bolster, anything that will provide you perhaps 1% more support. Avail yourselves of that. And then move into your rest. Just let go, be done. You're done. Allow yourself to be done. Letting go completely. Releasing any shaping of the breath, the body, of the mind. Releasing any analysis of the practice. Releasing any conversation. Certainly any criticism or condemnation. Certainly any competition. Just let everything go and just be in a moment of rest. Allowing yourself to feel into the integration of the energy that you've risen, allowing that integration to bring healing into your body, mind, and soul. Now, this rest posture is a posture. And so we bring the same level of focus and awareness to this rest that we brought to some of the dynamic movements. We are fully present. We're calm. We're steady. We're focused on the breath in the sense that we're not shaping the breath anymore, just allowing the breath to come and go, but we are aware that our breath is coming and going. And we are simply being, feeling into the supports along the backside of the body, feeling ourselves held in gravity, allowing ourselves to simply let go here. And then just noticing what happens when we release completely. Freedom. Perhaps the possibility of stillness. Perhaps awareness of immanence and presence. Perhaps recognition of healing. And whatever it is we're experiencing, we're going to experience it now in the cocoon of the awesome power of silence for the next couple of minutes. And if perchance you notice that your attention has wandered away, I invite you to bring gratitude to that noticing, and then gently and compassionately return your focus to your breath. On your next inhale, I invite you to take a full inhalation. And as you exhale, perhaps begin to reconnect your mind and body connection by wiggling your toes or your fingers, maybe rotating your wrists and your ankles. On your next inhale, if you choose to, I invite you to bring your heels toward your hips, your knees toward the ceiling, to extend your right arm alongside your head so the bicep frames the ear. Take a moment here in this posture to prepare yourself to roll to your right side. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, gently roll to your right side, allowing that right arm to cradle your head and neck like a pillow. Take a moment here on your right side to prepare yourself to be upright again. And when you are ready, and only when you are ready, I invite you to bring your left arm in front of your torso and use your left arm to help leverage yourself back to a seated posture. Take a moment here to reestablish yourself in your seated posture, rooting into those places of support that you find, lengthening your spine, realigning your spine, reconnecting with your awareness of the breath. And on your next inhale, I invite you to float your hands once again to your heart in a way that brings awareness to your heart space. And to allow to arise in your heart space perhaps one additional thing for which you might be grateful. And as you sit and witness yourself in gratitude in your space, I will take this opportunity to extend my sense of gratitude to you from this space. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your practice. I'm honored to be here, truly. And as always, in closing, I invite you to stay here in grateful witness for as long as you like. And more importantly, when you do rise, please take your gratitude and the echoes of your practice with you as you go through the remainder of your day, lifting yourself and all that you come into contact with. Have an amazing day.